Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City, where we want to help you build a Lego city regardless of the space you have. In this video, I'm going to attempt a ReMOC or remake of two existing MOCs that I have. This is actually a ReMOC of the coffee shop from the City Square set 60097. And this over here is my original coffee kiosk MOC, although this particular sign came from the assembly square. Now, if you'd like to check out both of these two MOCs, I've done videos for them, and you can check out those videos in the links in the description. One way to spice up your Lego experience and Lego life is to create MOCs, my own creations, or ReMOCs. And one technique to create MOCs is to combine different sets together to create something new. Now, they can be original MOCs that you've created, or you can even take existing sets to create something new. For example, recently I created this toy store where I combined the toy store from the donut shop opening and the space rocket ride to create something quite interesting. If you'd like to check out this particular video, you can do so in the link in the description as well. So the reason I came up with the coffee shop idea was also related to the space rocket toy shop that I created. And that's because several subscribers and viewers asked me if I wanted to do a ReMOC of the city coffee set from the same donut shop opening. Now, I intended to see if I could do anything because I really like this donut. So I pulled up my old coffee shops to see if I could combine the sets together. Now, I really wanted this donut, so I was thinking if I could incorporate it in some way into these builds. However, the problem is the color just doesn't work. In fact, even in this set, I don't think the color works, and it was tough to combine this city coffee with my other MOCs because of the colors and also of this very distinctive molded piece. This is a Technique piece. I think it's a creative use of the piece to create an archway for a small build like this, but it's hard to integrate with other things, and I'm also particularly not fond of this color combination. So I did try a few configurations to see if I could combine my different coffee shop MOCs and kiosks with this particular set, also just including the donuts, but I wasn't very successful. Nothing that I felt was really organic or interesting enough. I mean, you could definitely do it together, but it would seem force-fit and it would seem as though I'm just trying to really put the donut within my sets. But then this got me thinking whether I could do a MOC with these two sets. So I placed this aside and I thought about ReMOCing this. In fact, I've thought about ReMOCing this particular coffee shop for some time, because the one thing that I wasn't happy with is this back ladder or access to the second floor. In the original design, it was just a single story, very small coffee shop that's from the original Lego set. And when I created this, I had a hard time creating access. And I'm quite happy with the solution. It is a good solution, as I described in the video review of this particular MOC. However, it is not ideal because if you do have hot coffee, how are you going to climb up the ladder to get up here? So at that time, I felt it was an acceptable access point, simply at least there was access to the second floor, but it wasn't ideal. So I thought it would be good to take this opportunity to revisit the set. And this particular kiosk is also a very nice kiosk, and I thought there's a possibility to combine the two. And that's something I often do after about 6 months to 9 months of creating a MOC. I'll revisit it to see if I have new ideas or put fresh eyes on it to see if I can improve it, and I think this is a case of that. So I think I'm going to try to put these two together, and I will use a larger base plate. So I'm going to build it on a half standard base plate. So this is going to be a 16 by 32 stud base plate, and I'm going to fit this build on. I'll expand upon the building, so I'll probably make the building 16 by 16. Currently it's 16 by 8 on a 16 by 16 base plate, so I'm going to expand it out. The stairs will likely be on the inside, so it's going to be double the size, but I hope to incorporate this kiosk, or at least part of the kiosk, into the front of this coffee shop. So if you can imagine, this is the sidewalk. This is a bit of a walkway to the main coffee store, but if you just want takeout or you want fast service, you can just order it from this counter. And I have seen this kind of setup for coffee shops, so I hope to be able to incorporate that and expand this set. So this will be challenging. I haven't done any designing for this. It's just a concept I have. Some people do ask me when I do these building a MOC from start to finish whether I have a plan or design, and the real answer is I do have a rough idea of what I want to achieve, but I don't have anything planned out. I haven't built this before, and that's why you often see me make decisions during these videos, and sometimes I backtrack on the decisions and I try to create solutions for it. But I think that's all part of the build process, and that's why I do these videos, so that you can watch along and see what decisions I make. You can question the decisions I make as you watch, and you can see what solutions I come up with. But overall, it's the process of how I build, and maybe this can help you save time for your own MOCs. So with that said, let's start doing this. I think the first thing I'm going to do is to expand the footprint of this build. So I have to take it off this base plate, and I have to set it down on this particular base plate. I do have to figure out the exact position where that would be, and then I have to figure out how much of this kiosk I can incorporate into the front. Now obviously this changes in the storyline for my Lego City. Basically these two coffee chains are going to merge. So maybe the coffee chain name would stay, but I really do like this logo and I do want to create something interesting. So this is a merger, there's a renovation going to happen to introduce the new building. So let's see what happens. So I've kind of calculated the footprint of the particular MOC. So this will be where the main building starts, and this will be where the second half is. So there'll be a 5-stud kind of a backyard or side yard. So if I wanted to, I could build a set of stairs on the outside, but I haven't decided yet. More likely it's going to be on the inside. And this is going to be the front, although this will be cut down by at least 2 studs, so it looks something like that. So it will extrude out from the front over here so that minifigs still can stand on the sidewalk or front sidewalk over here, or they can walk to the main door here. So now that I've got this footprint figured out, I'm going to take 1x something gray plates. I'm going to lay out the footprint of the entire build with these gray plates, and that's something I always do for all MOCs. It helps also to raise the entire build by 1 plate high, so that when you add tiling later, it will be the same height as the tiles and the plates. So let's do that. Here's a basic idea of how it's going to look like, I think, at least in terms of just putting together the footprint of the ground floor. So if you can imagine, if this is the front, for now that would sit this way like that. I think that's pretty decent. I will want to try to make it more interesting. But at least I've got this basic design for now. So what I'm going to do is to complete this first floor, and then I'll build up the second floor so that I can get the basic structure. One thing I've done is to work out the position of the stairs. I decided not to have it on the outside. Maybe we could have some outside seating. We'll see if that is practical, but mainly because this is already quite a big building for just a coffee house, so I didn't need to have so much space. But now that I've done that, I can tile up the rest of the floor, and then I can work on the second floor. So I did some changing around once again. I increased the height by 1 brick high, so that I could put this kind of texturing here, and I think I should try to see if I can put it on this side as well. I did raise the stairs by 1 brick high, so I'll do a bit more adjustments and hopefully we can get on to the second floor. What I've just done is to add in this little awning for the front and the back, just to give a bit of visual texture. And you can see this corner piece here. This is done to secure this awning for the front kiosk. And I also reinforced it underneath because this particular awning or the roof for the kiosk is made of 2 plates, so I really had to secure it well, and I used 2 by something plates, not just 1 by something plates. Of course, if it had one big piece which was just a single plate, then there'll be no issue. But anytime you need to join plates, it's advisable that you make sure they're as secure as possible. If you do not secure the perimeter with 1 by something plates, then I would suggest 2 by something plates on the underside, and always lock it in with an overlapping brick. Let me just give you an example. If I did not place this particular brick here, just pop that out so that you can see what I mean. So if this particular corner brick wasn't in, this particular roof for the awning is only held in place by these 2 door frames or large window frames. So if I were to put this on, it is fairly secure, but look, it's not held together by anything, so it's not ideal. Therefore, I placed this corner brick, which adds to the aesthetic design, but also because when I cover it with an overlapping tile like that, now I've got it secured to at least one corner. See, and that doesn't wobble or shake anymore. So just take note of that when you're building exterior structures. You'd always want to try to connect it to a more stable structure. I think I've got everything down now, and I can finally move to the second floor. Anytime you want to build a second floor, especially when you have stairs or any kind of access point, you need to figure out what the layout of the floor of the second floor is. In this case, you always need a stairwell, which I have over here, and this stairwell will fit over this flight of stairs over here. And now that I've figured out how this is done, I need to flip this over and then secure it with 1 by something tiles as well as 2 by something tiles in between, just to hold all these plates together. Now, one important tip: anytime you do stairs like that and you lay it out, remember when you flip it over front to back. You need a mirror image like that. The reason is, if you flip it the other way, you'll find that when you put it back, it's actually going to be wrong. So remember, always mirror flip. So this is actually the correct way. Flip from front to back, and then you can lay out all your long plates. And here's an example of how you would towel or plate securely different base plates together to form a floor for a second floor. Notice how I always put 1 by something plates around the perimeter, and then I secure the joints between plates with 2 by something plates, so that is pretty secure. And this will fit over like that on the jumper plates, and then we have the stairwell where minifigs can go up. So now that I've got my second floor, or at least the floor of the second floor, I can build my second floor on like this. Here's the structure of the second floor. It's basically identical to the first floor, but what I've done here is something a bit different. I don't intend to put a glass window here because I want to insert this logo right here. So I think this fits well on the wall, so I need to center it. So the way I'm going to do that is to fill this area with these plates, or bricks rather, more modified bricks, but I will put 2 modified bricks with studs on the front over here, and this is so that I can put jumper plates and position this right here. So I'm going to take the jumper plates from the original build, put them in, and that's how you can use jumper plates to center any kind of decoration that you need within an even surface. If not, you'd find that it will be off to one side by half a stud. So let me just get that in. Okay, I realized I can't use this particular setup because the spacing is different. I need to look for a modified brick, a 2x2 modified brick, like this one over here. So that ensures the spacing is right, and I can put this on, and it's still a 2x2 brick. Yeah, so that works better. And now I can put this on and put it on the right way. And here we go. That very nice sign right there on one side of the building lines up with this canopy above the main door, which is very nice in my opinion. So what I want to do now is to think about whether I want to add one more layer of brick and then add the roof, or I can kind of figure out the roof immediately like that. Let's give it a think. So I'm going to add in one layer of brown brick as with the first floor, and then I'll plate and then tile. And here we have the second floor done as well. Honestly, this took me longer than I thought. So I'm going to end this video here, and we are going to do a part 2. In part 2, I will add the roof, which is pretty simple. Because I did a 16x16, I can just add that. I will transplant this roof design over here. And I will add in detail for the outside. I've got a nice surprise for the outside, for the top of this particular roof of this little serving canopy over this counter or kiosk. I might change this to brown just so that it fits with this brown brick better, I think. And I might change this to brown as well, this plate over here. I'll do this offline, and then we can get to the second part where I'll do all the detailing and complete this particular coffee house. So I hope you enjoyed this process of building a MOC from start to finish, or in this case a ReMOC, or combination of two different builds together. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Check out these two videos before we go.